tomorrow on Saturday, we're going to get a clear picture of what this roster is going to look like as the roster cuts are coming down. And we already seen a few moves already happen, but I want to make this clear. I'm going to give my opinion of what the 6-man veteran practice squad should look like. This is something that we have not seen before, now that you can have 6 veterans onto the practice squad. So I'm not going to project or predict. I'm just going to give my opinion on what the San Francisco 49ers should do. And based on this, I'm going with guys that are 2 years or more in the NFL. So I'm going to give a couple honorable mentions first. And I'm going to start with Mark Nazaucha. Cutting him would save about $1.3 million from moving him over to the practice squad. Here's the issue with Mark Nazaucha is he's an outstanding special teams asset to this team. And if you were trying to wave him through into the practice squad, he's most likely not going to make it, and someone's going to pick him up for his special team abilities. And then next, I'm going to have Dante Johnson here. Dante Johnson, he's not a starter, and he's okay on special teams. With Dante Johnson is they could waive him, put him onto the practice squad with ease, and not have that concern as you would with Mark Nazaucha. That being said, I don't think they should waste a veteran practice squad spot for Dante Johnson, as he'll most likely just be waiting for a call from the 49ers or whatever team if his services are needed. And here we go. So these are going to be the 6 that this is my opinion that the 49ers should do. And I have a couple of tricky ones at the end that you may be surprised or not so surprised about. I'm going to start with Harinis Grassu. He's a center. He's been in the league for quite some time now. He's never really performed well, but I think the 49ers should hang on to him because there has been injuries to Ben Garland as well as Weston Richburg. So you have the injury questions there. They should hold on to him just in case if they need to activate him on the practice squad if Ben Garland slips behind in his recovery. You have that option there that he's still with the team, still understanding the playbook. He hasn't worked his way onto the roster, so that's why I'm not going to put him on the 53-man team. And he's someone that could definitely clear waivers onto the practice squad with ease. Next is going to be Cameron Malveo. Or Malveo? Not sure. It's French. But with Cameron he's someone who's spent a lot of time on the practice squad already in his young career, and he has been on the active roster already a couple times in his young career. But this has to come with concern with Nick Bosa or D Ford to make sure that they do stay on track for week 1 and throughout the whole entire season. They brought up a couple guys last year with Jeremiah Valoga as well as Anthony Zettel. So if they do have to make a move to bring up another defensive end, you already have him there, a veteran on the practice squad who has played in NFL games. Next, I'm going to go with safety Jonathan Cyprien. I know he did make the comment that he does not want to be on the practice squad. But guess what? The backup safety is not going to force the 49ers' hands to be like, okay, he doesn't want to be on the practice squad, so we have to put him on the active roster. That's not going to happen. And with Cyprien, you got to look at it as far as the balance. Would you rather be on the 49ers practice squad or just be a free agent sitting at home? Being on the 49ers practice squad doesn't hurt Cyprien's market for other teams, if you want to look at it that way. And I'm sure his agent's going to tell him that, because other teams, if they wanted to sign him, they could sign him off the 49ers practice squad, or they could just claim him off the waivers once the 49ers do try to make that transition. So Cyprien, he would be smart. There's no reason why he shouldn't accept to be on the 49ers practice squad. This game does happen to have a lot of injuries, and he's just one of those away to being on the active roster, or if he just continues to ball out as he has been during training camp and practices, to be on the active roster. Next, Kyle Shanahan shown that he's wanted a veteran receiver now that this 6-man practice squad for veterans has opened up. As he went and signed Tavon Austin, he signed J.J. Nelson, he signed Juwan Brown, he signed River Kraft as well as Kevin White. And with Kevin White, it's kind of the last man standing, if you will, because J.J. Nelson, IR, Tavon Austin, IR, Juwan Brown, already released from the team. So that leaves Kevin White. He hasn't had enough time to make the 53-man roster, and he has all the tools and the abilities to be on that practice squad team. As I said, he is nowhere near the level of DeAndre Hopkins or DK Metcalf, but with his size and his speed, he could at least help prepare for those kind of guys. And then with this next one, you may be kind of shocked by it, but he would count as a veteran on the practice squad. It's going to be Richie James Jr. And I'm going to say this because it's going to come down to him and Juwan Jennings, who makes this roster as that sixth receiver. Yes, they can carry 7, but I'm not going to bank on that as of yet. If they do, I'm not going to say that it's not going to happen, but I'm not going to bank on that. So that's why I'm going to put him here on the practice squad. Reason being is he does have some wide receiver ability, like he had Jimmy Garoppolo's first touchdown pass of the season against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and he did help the 49ers get out of that 16-0 hole week 11 against the Arizona Cardinals when he had that 57-yard reception. But where his ability comes and what he provides for this team is in his return ability. And he was 16th out of 20th returners in kickoffs. 16 out of 20. That's not good. That's below average and down to the below. And so with that, he struggled in the Super Bowl as well. I believe Kyle Shanahan may want to try something else. Take Juwan Jennings, who has 4 years of team contract, opposed to Richie James, who has 2 years left of team contract. He's someone that can clear through the waivers onto the practice squad because, like I said, he's a return man. And he didn't produce well in returns last season. Opposed to if you try to slip Juwan Jennings into the practice squad, that's a huge risk, especially with the guy that has 4 years under contract, young, and he's shown that he could be kind of a red zone target with a big body receiver. So that's why I believe they may try to just slip Richie James. We'll see. Lastly, it's going to be interesting because it's a COVID season. You may want to say you want 3 quarterbacks on the roster, but I'm going to slide CJ Beathard over to the practice squad if I'm Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch because I want that extra roster spot for another body than a third quarterback. Reason being is he's a 1-9 career record, first off, under 60% completion percentage, as well as his interception percentage is higher than his touchdown percentage. I don't know who's really going to want to claim him if the 49ers decide to waive him onto the practice squad. I don't see a suitor out there for CJ Beathard saying he's going to be one of the top 2 quarterbacks on our roster. I don't see that happening. So they could save just under $1 million to throw CJ Beathard on the practice squad, keep him there. And if someone does decide to claim CJ Beathard, well, you had undrafted rookie Brock Rutter in camp already. Well, he wasn't in camp, actually, but he did learn the playbook or at least study the playbook a little bit. So you could always bring him on to the practice squad. But I absolutely believe they should save that practice squad spot. These are my opinions. It's not my prediction. So stay tuned as things will happen down Saturday. Sports Illustrated, all 49ers, this is Leo.